Hi guys, it's Carmyn from Engel and Völkers Whistler, and I'm here with another Market Minute update for August 2023. It is September, long weekend. It is Labor Day. It is back to school for many, and I'm so excited. I'm wearing this sleeveless top. I'm sad thinking about what it's going to be like in a month, and I'm going to be in a sweater. As many of you know, winter is not my friend. We get along a little bit, but for the most part, I'm a summer girl. But yeah, anyway, I'm so excited about this video today because I am interviewing the talented and amazing Jen Brophy. She's a local mortgage broker. That name will ring a bell if you're a client of mine and you've ever reached out to me about local lenders. She is one of the mortgage brokers that I do refer my clients to, and I'm just super excited to get her take on what's happening in the market, what she's seen over the summer, and what she predicts into 2023, the rest of it, and into next year. So let's jump in.
Awesome. Well, Jen Brophy, thank you so much for joining me on my e-newsletter today. Yeah, I just have huge respect for you. It's been so great working with you these last 2 years that I've been in the real estate business. And so, yeah, I just really wanted to get your perspective on what's happening in the market. I've been talking to my clients all summer long and noticing that it's been a really mixed market. Like some properties have been moving, others have been sitting. And so, from a real estate perspective, as a realtor, it's been quite challenging for buyers and for sellers. So, just wanting to get your perspective on what the summer's been like for you.
Oh, great. Well, first of all, thanks for including me. The feeling is mutual. It's been such a great couple of years working with you. Just love your energy and your passion for the industry. So it's so great to connect with like-minded people and just makes the job so much more exciting. I think I've had a similar experience just with, some buyers excited almost about rising interest rates, that we're having a challenge getting into the market with multiple offer situations. So it's been good for some people that, really have an understanding that rates are cyclical and these rates won't last forever. And once they start to come down, the demand will increase. And I think right now, long term, especially in the sea to sky, we are just going to see increased demand, with 1.2 million people coming to the country and new builds slowing down. They're predicting about 200,000 new builds per year. The supply is just going to be squeezed further, and we've always seen that in the sea to sky. And I'm sure once rates come back down to their new normal, the market will really heat up, and we'll see prices accelerate again.
So, what do you think with buyers? What is the biggest challenge that they're having with lenders? Is it with a particular property type in Whistler, or is it just the rising interest rates and trying to qualify where they used to, but now they're not?
Yeah, we're seeing a big difference in qualification guidelines. A year and a half ago, interest rates were in the mid ones, and people were qualifying at a rate of 5.25. Now rates are in the mid sixes, and people need to qualify at rates of 8% or more, which just makes it really tough to qualify. For example, if you're purchasing $1 million home a year and a half ago with $200,000 down, an $800K mortgage, you'd need a combined income of about $145,000. And now with current interest rates, you're going to need a combined income of $200,000. So it's just making
Huge
it
jump.
more challenging for people to qualify.
So where do you think interest rates are going? We hear a lot of speculation coming up with the rate announcement come September. It's just in about a week or so time. So yeah, what do you think they're going to say?
Yeah, I know. I wish I had a crystal ball, but I'm constantly, obsessively trying to figure out what economists are predicting. And right now
Mhm.
there's about a 25% chance of a rate increase on September 6th. Tomorrow, the GDP numbers will come out for the second quarter, which will give us a really good indication of what will happen. And that's basically an anticipation of what they're expecting for what's happened in the, the first two quarters. And that will guide the Bank of Canada's decision. They're expecting that, rates will either, increase by 0.25% or remain steady. And then we'd see potentially the first rate cuts in March 2024, with about 0.5% cut by the end of June 2024. Condition that with things are constantly changing, and the predictions that we've seen in the past, some have come to fruition and others not. So only time will tell.
Yeah, it'll sure be nice to see those rates come down. And it's interesting because Whistler's a little bit unique in that, will mostly the ebb and flow of real estate for, suburbs and things like that follow the flow of, kids, being in school and out of school. So summer tends to be quite busy for a lot of areas. But for Whistler, we tend to slow down a little bit, and then we pick up in the fall as we start ramping up for the ski season and people wanting to get into their chalets or nightly rental condos and things like that. So the tension that we're seeing with the interest rates, if they do go up, will, I agree with you, present an opportunity for savvy interests or savvy real estate investors to really take that opportunity to get into the market or to add to their portfolio, where other buyers might sit on the sidelines because they're feeling squeezed. So it's just really interesting times. And then if the interest rates don't go up in the fall, then that might just increase the level of activity that we would normally see in the fall. So yeah, I can't wait to see what happens. It's like I'm sitting here eating my popcorn all the time. What's going to happen?
Yes, certainly interesting times and kind of exciting to be in this industry at this time. Obviously, unprecedented times, not to overuse that word that we've had, over the last couple of years, but it will certainly be interesting. And as you say, for investors, just if they are ready, knowing that it's going to be tough to find a positively cash flowing property right now. But that might be just the short term, considering shorter term rate options, and then knowing banking on that long term appreciation, and that rates will eventually come down.
Yeah, that's the nice thing is the rates aren't fixed. The price that you enter the market in, though, is. So yeah, and just knowing that what your long term game is.
Exactly.
Jen, you always send out such great emails, and you have, like little hacks or yeah, just like really great tips. I'm just wondering, what is a great tip or rule of thumb or something like that that is sort of on your radar these days?
Okay, well, credit is a big one. We're seeing lenders really get a little bit more tough on their lending guidelines and their credit qualifications. And the better your credit is, the more likely you get exceptions, the more you can borrow. So just aiming to have an excellent credit score, which is considered 800 or more, is just going to really help you. I've been finding lately people have what would normally be considered a good credit score, but they're just constantly having their balance above their limit, and lenders see that as a negative, and it really impacts their credit score. And a lot of people don't understand that even if they pay off their credit card every month, it is negatively impacting their credit score. So that's a big thing. And then in terms of rules of thumb, just for qualification guidelines, if you don't really have any other debts, is your combined income times 4 right now is how much you would qualify for in mortgage. So for example, if you had a combined income of 200,000, you'd qualify for a mortgage of 800,000 plus your down payment of 200,000 for a total purchase price of $1 million. Of course, there are little things that people can do. Adding a co-signer is becoming more popular right now, or maybe even a guarantor, just to kind of get into the market. But those are kind of the rules of thumb right now, in comparison to a year and a half ago when you just needed your income times 5.5. So a
You just
big
needed
difference.
a heartbeat and a pulse, right?
Yeah,
And they were
exactly.
times
Yeah,
have
so
changed.
things have definitely changed.
Okay, well, that's great. And so, besides being referred from me to you, if like someone's my client, I would refer them to you. But besides being referred from me, what are ways that people can get in touch with you, Jen?
By email or phone. I'm on
Mhm.
Instagram, jenniferbrophy.mortgages.com, and then you can connect
Mhm.
from there, as well as my website, jenniferbrophy.ca.
Wonderful. Well, thanks so much for joining me, Jen. This was awesome. You're always so full of great information. I really do appreciate you.
Thanks, Carmyn.